Okay, good afternoon, IOBA. My name is TC, and this is the Awareness Channel. So, as everybody in the world knows, Israel, I don't even know if I'm going to post this because I just said Israel, is, you know, going through carrying out its ethnic cleansing over there in Gaza. And they apparently, according to breaking points, have been in contact with some African countries in order to relocate the Palestinian people. They want to go through with what Trump said. The United States is going to own it and occupy it, and it's some beautiful beachfront property. He said so. He gonna I don't know what kind of setup they're gonna have, but apparently they're gonna push the people all the way out, and they're looking for some African countries that will take them in. I don't know how that's gonna work, but all I can say is this. If there's any African country or any brothers from Africa that watch my channel, I gotta tell you, I wouldn't go for it. I would be totally and completely against moving a bunch of people from Gaza into your country. Because what's likely to happen is they're gonna get there and they're gonna start acting first like they better than the people that live there. And second, they're gonna act like they're the boss of the people that live there. And third, they're gonna take whole goddamn swaths of your land and you ain't even gonna be allowed on it. There's gonna be places you can't go in your own country because they're gonna have a whole different ethnic group in there, protected by probably an American base, and you ain't gonna be able to do shit about it. I'm telling you, that's how these things turn out. And the whole world is sitting by and watching this happen, and nobody can do anything about it. That's a sorry state of affairs to be in. I'm telling you. These are the results. These are the things that happen when you elect somebody like Donald Trump. Now, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the Biden administration and the Trump administration before the Biden administration was kind of doing the same thing. Only there was a little more, they were a little more subtle with it. But right now, the war has been, you know, escalated, and there's nothing left there but death and destruction. And they murdering people 100, 200, 300 a day and moving everybody out. I said this before and I say it again. My biggest worry is that somehow, some way, the United States is kind of doing the same thing. Everybody who they can deport, the United States, I mean, they are deporting innocent people, people who are citizens, people with green cards. None of that matters. And they trying to, whitewash this country and reduce us, the people that they can't deport, to second class citizens. That to me is what the end goal is. That to me seems like that's the only thing it can be. When you take, a real good look at what's really happening. Because I see that shit as parallel. But here's another thing. A bunch of them will probably come to the United States. They're going to figure out a way to have a bunch of Palestinians come to the United States. Because if Israel gets its way and Donald Trump gets his way, and it seems like they are, they're going to need to do something with all those people. You know, I don't think. Well, I don't think. I doubt that you can actually deport every single Palestinian out of that area. Every single one, because they're gonna need a cheap labor force. Maybe that's what they'll keep a few around for. But it just seems like a logistical nightmare to uproot all those people and place them in somebody's country. It's going to be really wild watching that shit happen. You dig me? But my whole point is, and the whole point of me speaking on it is, I fear for my own people here in this country. And if things don't change, what they plan to try to do to us? Because we ain't gonna have no protections. We're not gonna have any protections, and everybody gonna agree, and everybody gonna think that we deserve whatever happens to us. Just like that seems to be the way people think about the Palestinians. Because once you get the news media talking, and you get the narrative changed, and you get people saying all kind of crazy stuff about you that you can't that you can't fight against, or get your point out there and refute, and people just gonna believe everything they say about you. Like right now, for example, right now in this country, they are trying to the Trump administration is trying to erase our history, our accomplishments in the military, in science, in medicine, in sport. They can't do it in sport, but you know what I'm saying. They're trying to erase our history. First, you erase the history of a people and you whitewash it, and then you start saying like shit like they never made any contribution to the greatness of the country. And then you start criminalizing and demonizing them every night on TV, like that guy said way back in 1968 or whatever it was. Every night on TV you demonizing black people, and the next thing you know, everybody gonna think black people deserve whatever happens to us. And the next thing you know, we getting rounded up and stuffed into internment camps and shit. You feel me? These red bow tie wearing ass coons don't think it can happen to us. But didn't nobody think Donald Trump could get back in the White House either. Well, at least I didn't think it could happen. And I've been around a long time watching this shit. You got to keep your eye on what's happening though in that part of the world, because that's like an experiment there. you know, you got to keep your eye on what's happening in that part of the world, and then you got to be mindful of where those people go, and then how those people act when they get there, and then you got to spin it all back around, right, and relate it to yourself and your people in this country and what's happening to you. You dig me? That's how I see it. You know, I probably won't be around to see the ultimate, end game of what these fascists are trying to do. But hopefully, through the law of the pendulum, the law of the pendulum swing, and through free and fair elections, if we're allowed to have them, we can, restore some order to this country. But right now, shit looking bad. You know, And we as black people told everybody that this was going to happen. But then couldn't nobody stomach seeing anybody in the White House except for the guy we got there. But on a side note, if Donald Trump and his Republican Party and all of them want to erase all of the accomplishments of black people in this country, shit, they'll have to tear down the White House. They'll have to tear down Washington, D.C., wouldn't they? Because you know who built Washington, D.C., right? Just go back and look. See that before they erase that and whitewash all that, go back and look and see who built the White House. You know, what are you going to do? Tear down the White House and rebuild the White House? Is that what's happening? Because you're trying to erase everything that black people did in this country. Might as well start right there. You see how ridiculous that shit sound? But yeah, the direction that we going in is crazy right now. It's like from 2016 to 2020, all of that madness that was going on. Back then, you had people in place that could, kind of check Donald Trump and the Republicans a little bit. But right now, no. And they're trying to solidify that power. And all of the shit that's going on in the world that we thought could never happen is floating right through. The genocides and the imperialism and all of that floating right through. And I'm gonna say one more thing before I leave. I hate war as a rule myself. I do. I hate war. I don't like it. But we're about to get in another one, a big one. You dig me? With Iran. And a lot of our grandsons and granddaughters and sons and daughters are going to have to fight there. So the message is don't let your children join the military and go fight in no war in the Middle East. Because when they come back, this country ain't got shit for them. Don't let your child go over there and help out in the Middle East. Because when they come back with PTSD and missing limbs and all the rest of it, the United States has pretty much destroyed the VA and ain't got nothing for them. We in for a wicked ass 3 more years, 3.5, 4 more years. You dig me? Just know you've been warned. That's it for now, y'all. Y'all hit the subscribe button for me on the way out, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. TC, and I'm out. Peace.